Good morning friends, welcome back to Parnika tutorials. In this video, I want to discuss about static variable, static method and static block in detail. So I sincerely request everyone to watch the complete video for better understanding. Till now, what we have done, we have created an instance variable, instance methods. After creating an object for that class, using that object, we have accessed the instance variables and instance methods. Now, what are the instance variables and instance methods are there will be available in every object of a particular class. But I want a common variable, common methods which can be accessed with the help of a class. So those kind of things can be done with the help of a static variable and static method. Now let me discuss with a simple example. Let's consider that I have a class called student where S is capital and every student will be studying in a particular engineering college. Suppose let's take that the students who are in my class are studying in some university or some college. So for every student who belongs to this college, the college name will be same. So instead of having it as an instance variable, I can have it as a common variable. Am I right? So what I can do is that I can have a static keyword. Remember one thing. For an instance variable, you will have the data type and then variable name. But for a static variable, because you need to differentiate the static variable with the instance variable. So to differentiate that one, we use the keyword called static where s is lowercase only. Okay, static. Then I will have the data type. Let's take that string. College name, let me write it as cn is equal to, let's take that pt, Parnika tutorials, I am writing in shortcut as pt. Okay, then I will have some instance variables such as int sid. Now this one we can call it as an instance variable. Okay, why we are making it as an instance variable? Because for each object it will have different value based on what value you are assigning. But this college name will be common for all the objects. Similarly, let's take that I have a string type stating that student name. Let me write it as yes name. Okay, this is also an instance variable. Now let me have a method called studying, void studying. Okay, and then inside the studying I'm just writing system.out.println out.println. I'm writing sn. Okay, sn is studying. Sn is studying. Okay, let me close this one. Right now what I will do, I will close this class also. Now I will have to write about the main class or the driver class. So what I will do, class, I will write first, simple. Then this program should be saved as first.java. Okay, because the file name and the class name of the main class or the driver class should be same. Now inside this one I will write public static void main string args, public static void main, then you will have string an array. Let me write it as AR, which is a string array. Then what I will do, to initialize this instance variable called sid and sname, I need to create an object. How can I create an object for the class called student? Using the syntax called class name. Okay, then object name, let me write it as s1. Then you need to use the new keyword for memory allocation and then class name. Similarly, what I am doing, I am creating one more object called s2 for the class called student. So I am writing student s2 is equal to new student. Okay, and then what I will do is that I will write s1 dot sid is equal to 1, s1 dot sn is equal to Jagadish. Let me write it. Okay, similarly I will write s2 dot sid is equal to 2, s2 dot sn is equal to Parnika. Okay, so for each object I have initialized the instance variables. We can do like this, or we can use the constructor also. That I will discuss in the next video. Now look at here. If I write system dot out dot println, if I write s1 dot sid, you know that we will get the output as 1, because you want to access the instance variable called sid using the object. Similarly, if I want to access the static variable, because this cn, college name cn, is a static variable, you can access with the help of the class name. How can you do it is system dot out dot println, okay, println, you can simply access the static variable with the help of class name, which is student dot static variable. So you can write scn. Then it will display the output as, let me write here as there is a space. In this case, it will display as pt, because the college name is pt for every student. Okay, so remember one important point: instance variables, you need to create an object. Using that object and dot operator, you can access the instance variables and the instance method, because this is also an instance method. Okay, however, for the static variables, you no need to create an object. Without creating an object for the class called student, you can access the static variables and static methods which are there in the student class. How can you do? With the help of class name, which is student dot cn. What is the name of the static variable that you can give? Then you can ask me, sir, can I access the static variable cn with the help of the objects? Let's take that I have created the objects for instance variables. Using these objects called s1 and s2, can I access the static variable? Yes, you can do it. That is no problem. Let me discuss that part also. If I write system dot out dot println, and if I write s1 dot cn, this is absolutely fine. You will get the output as pt. Similarly, in place of s1, you can even write s2 also. Now I have one question. After doing this one, I want to change the static variable cn value instead of pt, because people will not understand what is pt. I want to write Parnika tutorials. Okay, then what I can do is that I can modify in two ways. Not only in two ways, multiple ways I can do. Okay, the multiple ways means with the help of multiple objects. What is the way I will discuss here? Okay, after continuing, I am doing here. So you can write, say this is continuation. Okay, so I can write class name student dot cn is equal to, okay, is equal to Parnika tutorials. Parnika tutorials. Let me end semicolon. Then if you write system dot out dot println, I am simply writing s dot o dot p. You can understand it is system dot out dot println. Okay, you should not write shortcut in Java, as there is a space issue. I am writing like this. Okay, but in the Notepad++, we will write completely. System dot out dot println. If I write student dot cn, similarly system dot out dot println s1 dot cn, similarly student dot out dot println s2 dot cn. In all these cases, as the value is changed from pt to Parnika tutorials, in all these three statements, you will get the output as Parnika tutorials. So you can change the value which is there in the static variable called cn using the class name. Now my question is, sir, can I change that using one of the object in place of student? If I write one of the object called s1, let me write it lowercase, okay, s1.cn, then what will happen? Will it show any error? No, it will not show any error. And even in this case also, you will get the output as Parnika tutorials, Parnika tutorials, Parnika tutorials. So you can access the static variable with the help of class name and also with the help of an object, and even you can modify the static variable value with the help of class name and also with the help of an object. Once you done a modification with the help of one object, it will reflect to all the objects also, because here you have two objects. Okay, so even if you write s2.cn, you will get the output as Parnika tutorials. Now let me discuss how can you have a static method and how can you access it. Okay, now let's take that instead of this instance method, you know that how can you access the instance method with the help of an objects. Okay, what you can do, you can simply write s1 dot studying, then you know that what it will display, because student name of the s1 is Jagadish, it will display the output as Jagadish is studying. Okay, if you write s2 dot studying, means you are accessing the, or you are calling the studying method with the help of an object called s2, then you will get the output as, see, s2 dot sn is Parnika, so you will get the output as Parnika is studying. I hope you have got the point. Already we have discussed it several times. Now instead of making it as an instance method, I want to make it as a static method. Then I can write static void studying. Now the point is, I want to access this method. Okay, what are the ways you can access the method? Because it is a static method, without creating an object also you can do. How you can do? With the help of a class name. I will write student dot studying, then you will get the output as, okay, whatever. But remember one thing, if you make it as a static method, then sn is what? Is an instance variable. Am I right? Because now this is what? This is not an instance method. Remember the point. This is a static method. Okay, this is now a static method. A static method can access static variables, but it cannot access the, or it cannot have the instance variable. Sn is what? Instance variable. So it will give an error for you. Okay, so instead of that one, you can write cn, or you can write I am studying in CN, means in that university I am studying. Let's take that. Okay, is it clear? So in this case, you will get the output as I am studying in Parnika tutorials, or you can, because it is PT, because we did not modify later, so you will get output as I am studying in PT. Now the point is that, can I access the static method using the objects? Yes, you can do it. You can simply write s1 dot studying. Okay, similarly you can write s2 dot studying also. So the point is that the static method you can access with the help of a class name or with the help of the objects also. Now my another question, maybe you will understand this question now. Sir, if it is an instance method, we are accessing with the help of an objects. But if it is a static variable or a static method, we can access with the help of a class name, with the help of the objects. Now my question, if it is an instance variable, can I access with the help of a class name? So another point is that can I access the instance methods, instance variable using the class names? Suppose if I write student dot sn, I want to initialize some value or I want to do something, then it will give an error for you. Similarly, if it is not a static method, suppose let's take that I have a method called void display something I have written, okay, system dot out dot println I am display method, something to make you understand the point, okay. Now this is what, there is no static keyword, so now I can say that this is an instance method. If it is an instance method, if you are trying to access with the help of a class name, then also it will give an error for you. So instance variables and instance methods, you need to access with the help of object. But if it is a static method and static variable, you can access with the help of a class name and even with the help of a objects also. I hope you have understood about the static variables and static methods. Now let me discuss about the static block. Till now we have written the student class and then first class, and we have done the certain task. Now if you observe that in a first class, because the program is first.java, everything we have started writing within the main method only. But before writing the main method, I want to execute certain task, or after the main method I want to execute certain tasks. Suppose let's take that I have written a program called first.java, so the driver class is having the name called first, okay. Then you know that we will have public static void main, and then we will have string where s is capital, args, I can write it as a also. Here I am writing system dot out dot println, system dot out dot println, I am in main method, I am in main, simple, let me write, okay, and I'm closing, and you know that we'll close the class. Let me close the class also. Before the main method, I want to execute certain task, or I want to perform, or I want to write certain statements, then we can do with the help of static block. How we will do is that we will have a static and we will have a block, means curly braces and end curly braces. So within that, whatever the statements you are writing will come in the static block. So now let me write here as system dot out dot println I am in, okay, simple, let me write I am, because there is no space, I am just writing I am. Now if I execute this program called first.java, how you do it? You will write a command called javac first.java. Similarly, if there are no errors, you will write it as java first. Then you will get the output as I am, and then you will get I am in main. So what is the point here I want to highlight is, before the main method, what are the statements you want to execute, you will write them within the static block. So see, the highest priority is given to this statement, so that's why you got the output as I am, then I am in main. Now let me have another question. Sir, you said if you want to execute certain block of statements before the main and after the main, we will use the static. Now, can I write a static here after the main method? Yes, you can do the static block. So let me write static, open the curly braces, and then you can write system dot out dot println. Okay. Now let me write properly. I am in static block. I hope there is no space issue. I am in static block. Let me close this, then I will close the class. See, look at here. I have a static block opening and closing. Then I have the main method starting and closing. The static opened and closed, and now you have closed the class. If you compile and execute this program, what will be the output? First, you will get the output as I am. Then you will get it as I am in main, and then you will get the output as I am in static block. So if you have multiple static blocks, means one is before the main method, one is and after the main method, then sorry, first you will get I am, then you will get I am in static block, then you will get I am in main. I'm really sorry for it. Okay, so you will get output as I am in static block, I am in main. Suppose let's take that I am erasing this one. Then you will get the output as I am in static block, I am in main. So if you have static block before the main and after the main, and you have the main block, first this one will be executed, then this one, and then main method. If you have only one at down, then this one will be given high priority. If it is there only on the top, that will be given high priority. I hope you have understood about the static variables, methods, and static block. For better understanding, I will execute this program in the desktop.
Let me have a class, and class name is student, and I will have two instance variables called sid, which is of an integer type, and name is of string. So these two variables will call it as instance variables. I want to create one static variable, so I need to use the static keyword, and the variable data type I want to have it as a string, and the variable name is equal to college, and I'm initializing the value as Parnika tutorials. Okay, then I will have some display function or a display method. Okay, we should use the technical word called method, which is an instance method. Now what I am doing is that I want to display the student ID and the student name. Okay, I'm writing system.out.println SID and name. Okay, then let me close this one and let me close the class, and now I will create a main class because this program I'm saving it as first.java, so the main class or the derived class should have the same name. Okay, then I will have the main method public static void main string args. Okay, now what I will do is that I will create an object, okay, for the student class. So I will have the class name s1 is equal to new student. Then let me create one more object called s2 for the student class. Okay, now what I will do is that I will write the statement called s1 dot sid is equal to 1, s1 dot sname is equal to Jagadish. I'm initializing them. Okay, we can initialize like this, or we can use the constructor. About constructor I will discuss in the next video. s2 dot sid is equal to 2 and s2 dot sname is equal to Parnika. Okay, then I will write, let me zoom out a little bit so that it will be visible for you. Further, let me zoom out. Okay, there is no use. Let me zoom in only. Now what I want to do, I want to print the college, which is of a static variable. This is college is a static variable. Okay, static variable we can directly access with the help of the class name. So I will write system dot out dot println. Okay, if I write student because the class name is student and the static variable name is college, then it will give the output as, okay, Parnika tutorials. And you know that how to print the SID and the name, all these things you know with the help of the object. Okay, for better understanding, let me write them also. Okay, simply I will write s1 dot SID, and similarly I will write s1 dot, where s1 is lowercase. Let me write s1 properly. Okay, s1 dot sname. Okay, remove the college. Okay, let me close the main method and let me close the class. I have saved the program. As I want to compile, I need to open the command prompt, and you know that all our programs will be there in the desktop folder called Java programs. Now let me compile the program called first.java. There is some error. What is that error? We have given some commas. Where we have given the commas? Oh, here we have given the comma system.out.println. Okay, let me save the program again. Let me clear the screen and let me compile the program again. There is no errors. Now let me run the program. Okay, we got the output as Parnika tutorials 1 and Jagadish. So student.college is giving the output as for you Parnika tutorials, and s1.sid you have initialized to 1, so you will get it as 1, and s1.sname will give you the output as Jagadish. Okay, this is absolutely fine. Now I have a one doubt. Can I access the static variable called college with the help of the objects called s1 and s2? In the blackboard we have said it can be possible and it will display the output as Parnika tutorials. This also will give the output as Parnika tutorials, and this also will give the output as Parnika tutorials. Okay, this is absolutely fine. Okay, now look at here. Let me save the program and let me compile it again. We got the output as Parnika tutorials, Parnika tutorials, Parnika tutorials. So we can access the static variable with the help of the class name or with the help of the objects also. Similarly, let me modify the content of the college. I want to make the college as Parnika instead of Parnika tutorials, okay, or Parnika technology something. Now what will happen? Everywhere it will change from Parnika to Parnika tutorials to Parnika. So you will get the output as Parnika. If you want to see, let me save the program and let me compile it. Okay, Java C, Java first dot Java and then Java first. See, I got the output as Parnika, Parnika, Parnika. Earlier, I got Parnika tutorials, Parnika tutorials, Parnika tutorials. Now, let me modify the program. Instead of modifying with the help of the class name, which is a static variable college, I'm doing modification with the help of the one of the object called S1. Then what will happen? You look at here. Okay, let me clear the screen. Java C first dot Java. Now let me run it. See, again I got the output as Parnika, Parnika, Parnika. Maybe if you does not understand, let me write it as Jagadish. Okay, look at what will happen. Again we will get the output as Jagadish, Jagadish, Jagadish. Okay, see. So you can modify the content which is there in the static variable with the help of the class name or within the one of the object also. Now what I want to do is that I want to access this display method, which is an instance method, with the help of the class name. Look at here what will happen. If I access with the help of one of the object, that is absolutely fine. You will get the output here as SID as 1. Okay, and then this one you will get the output as Jagadish. Okay, but let me remove this content. But you are accessing the instance method with the help of the class name. Then what will happen? We will see class name is student and I'm writing display. Then what will happen? You can see. Let me save the program and again clear the screen and let me compile the program. See, you got an error. Non-static method display cannot be performed from a static context because you are calling the an instance method with the help of the class name. That is not possible. Okay, but however you can access the instance method with the help of a object. Okay, so that's why this is not giving an error. If you want to see, let me save the program and let me compile the program again. Now you got any errors? You did not get any errors. Now see, I got the output as 1 and Jagadish. This is absolutely fine. As I discussed earlier, we will get the output as 1 and Jagadish. Now I want to make this instance method to a static method. So before the return type, I have provided the static keyword. Now in a static method, we can access with the help of the class name. Okay, this is absolutely fine. But what you are doing, you are trying to print the instance variables called SID and SName. This will create an error. Look at here. Let me clear the screen and compile the program. See, you got an error. What is that error? In the line number 8 and line number 9, there are two errors. See, it is showing the line numbers and also it is showing how many errors. What are the errors? Non-static variable SID. I said SID is an instance variable. Cannot be referred from a static context. Similarly, the same error you are getting. So instead of this one, what I will do, I will try to print the college. Okay, I will write student.college, okay, because which is a static variable. Then look at here. If I compile the program again, there are no errors. Let me run the program. There are no errors. See, I got the output as Parnika tutorials. This is absolutely fine. Now my question, can I access the static method which is displayed using the objects called S1 and S2? We will see. S1 is one of the object for the class called student and S2 is another object. Now look at here. If there are no errors, we will get the output as, here you will get the output as Parnika tutorials, because you are trying to print the static variable. Here also you will get the output as Parnika tutorials. Here also you will get the output as Parnika tutorials. Let me see. Okay, let me compile the program, clear the screen, compile the program. There are no errors and let me run the program. Okay, see, I got the output as Parnika tutorials, Parnika tutorials, Parnika tutorial. So I hope you have understood about the static variables and static methods. Now let me discuss about the static block. Before this one, what you want to do, you want to execute certain statements. Then you can have the static block. Okay, I'm writing something system.out.println. I am in static block. I am in static block. And let me end with a semicolon. Let me close the static block. If I compile the program, you will get the output first as I am in static block. Then you will get the output as Parnika tutorials thrice. Let me save the program and go to the command prompt. And let me compile the program again, because once you modified, you need to compile and again you run. See, before that, I got the output as Parnika tutorials, Parnika tutorials, Parnika tutorials. Now, after including the static block in before the main method, I got the output as I am in static block Parnika tutorials, Parnika tutorials, Parnika tutorials. Now, let me add one more static block. Okay, after the main method. Now here I will print that I am static block 2. If I compile the program, okay, if I compile the program again and run the program, I got the output as I am in static block, I am in static block 2, Parnika tutorials, Parnika tutorials, Parnika tutorials. So first it will start executing the static blocks. Then it will go to the main method and execute the statements whatever it is there. Now let me remove the static method before the main method and save the program. Now what will happen is that you will get the output as I am in static block 2. First let me clear the screen and let me run it. See, I got the output as I am in static block 2. So you can include the static block before the main method or after the main method or at both the places. But first it will execute the before whatever the static block you have included before the main method, then after the main method, then main method statements it will be executed. If you have only after the main method, then first after the main method whatever the static block statements are there, they will be executed, and then the main method whatever the statements are there, they will be executed. I hope you have understood about the static variable, static method and static block. If you still have any doubts related to these concepts, feel free to ask me in the comment section. I will try to clear your doubts as early as possible. Thank you for watching the complete video. Have a nice day.